Hello everyone, my name is Roberto Cerbino and I work as a physicist at the University of Milan. And in the last years I've been involved in the development of new educational programs at our university.
Hi everybody, I'm Manuela Minani. I work as an academic developer at the University of Milano, and I worked with Roberto in the last years in the framework of improving teaching and learning experiences within our university.
Actually, Manuela is the reason why I was involved, and I'm currently involved in ABC to VLE, because when we started our adventure in the development of a new faculty development initiative at the university, she came out with this very intriguing idea that she can that basically she could offer in the framework of a past experience at the LERU digital learning group. And I mean, the way she explained it to me was so exciting that I couldn't resist, and I joined the adventure.
In fact, I can tell the same about how Clive, within the framework of the digital education thematic group within the LERU, explained me about ABC. So I think that we have both to thank Clive about his enthusiasm and showing and providing evidences of how ABC could work really well. I think that if we can summarize the story of ABC within our university, we can identify at least 3 phases. The first one refers to maybe more than 3 years ago, when we start using ABC with a colleague of ours, Iris Pinelli, that at those time was working with us. And with Iris, we started working mainly on the localization issues of the ABC tool. And it was very, very interesting work that we did at those time, trying to understand how tool methods and also languages born within an Anglo-Saxon context so different from our own educational culture could be used within our university. So in the first years, we worked really a lot also with our teachers, and I can say that the proposal of accepting to doing such a completely different workshop was accepted by a lot of degrees within our university. So I think that we can identify the first phase of our involvement within ABC as a complete project, as a very successful phase, and we spread off the opportunity within our university. It has been offered mainly, I can say also, to our university is a generalistic university, but mainly the workshop has been offered to scientific area and medical area, not only to this kind of degrees, but mainly.
Actually, the second phase is a little bit less fortunate because it coincided with a change in the governance of our university. And due to the change in the governance, there was also a slowing down in the implementation of novel pedagogical and learning tools, a category in which we will happily place ABC as a workshop. And in this respect, what happened is that there was also a reorganization of all the structures in charge of the educational development. And in particular, in this situation, it was very difficult to offer ABC in the old way. But once again, Manuela came out with a very interesting idea, which was to offer ABC to students.
Yes, in fact, in the second phase, we involved students from 2 completely different points of view. So we run a workshop with students to redesign some courses that they have already attended. maybe in the previous year. And so they could support or propose a new redesign starting from their own experience as a student. The other option, the other point of view was to involve students in the design ex novo of courses. It was a specific topic referring to quality issues within our university, so to spread the culture of quality within our university. So the idea is to involve students, to let them suggest how they could be involved. So to let them act as designers. And in both cases, that are quite different one from the other, what surprised us a lot was that they were really keen and ready to understand which is the meaning of the workshop, how it was working, and also to see the real added value of the workshops, also from the point of view of the teachers. That it was really, really interesting.
Actually, during the last and third phase, which is the one that started, I would say, a few months ago, what happened is that in this reorganization, Manuela ended up heading the Office for the Educational Development of our university. And in this framework, she restarted proposing the ABC workshop. But in this case, we were hit as anyone else a few weeks ago, by the COVID-19 emergency. And so what happened is that people had way less time to organize and plan their lectures, and they had to go online. So this is actually, for the both of us, the worst case scenario, because being forced to use technology without having the time to do pedagogical thinking behind the technology that you want to use is a nightmare. And so the question was, how can we help our colleagues in these difficult times? And so the idea was to kind of flip the ABC workshop, the traditional ABC workshop, by starting from the end. And this means starting from the wheel, the technology wheel, which with a sort of wizardry, we transformed in the 6 wheels.
Yes, so we decided to use the wheel as Roberto mentioned, in the vice versa approach. So in the previous and in the normal setting, let's say, the wheels represent the dessert, and now are the appetizer, because we have now to start to help the teachers start about thinking about what they did in the last month and weeks. And maybe in this case, starting from the tool could allow them to understand if they did the right choices, what they really did. So have I adopted this tool really because I wanted to provide an opportunity to students to develop their acquisition skills, or I wanted to do something else. I wanted them to work with another learning type and I've chosen the wrong tool. So what we were thinking is that maybe starting from the end, they can just have a look of what they did and reflect on how they can improve their design, maybe also for the coming semester.
Yes, in a way, we love to think that our colleagues were drowning in the sea of technology, and we basically saved their life with what we called ABCER, emergency recovery, which is basically the ultimate resource against the overwhelming dominance of technology in teaching. And I think that we did a very good job in that, because people saw in the wheels basically an opportunity to place the technology and the software and all the means that they were using to do teaching, online teaching, in a proper pedagogical context, which helped them a lot in thinking that they can go beyond what they are doing. And so I would say that this is, for us, is the cherry on the cake, because we were kind of desperate, and then we saw that there was light at the end of the tunnel, and this light was represented by ABC. So overall, I would say, I will conclude by saying that for me personally, it was a very interesting experience. And I would like to mention, I love to mention that I also experienced the ABC workshop as a passive subject. I mean, it's not the right word in the context of ABC workshop, but let's say I was not using...
A participant.
I was a participant, exactly. And I loved it. And most of the comments we heard, especially in the first phase, but also more recently, is that people who were teaching in the same course never met each other before. And this was the first time they met around the table to plan their teaching. And I think this is a very important message that goes very much beyond the general applicability of ABC, and is more related to the Italian context. But I think it's something that ABC is responsible for. So bringing awareness to our teacher.
Yes, maybe also we can add to also to create a common language, because as you just mentioned, teachers are really used to have conversation about research topics, but in our context they are not so used to have conversations on educational issues and topics. And we really can recognize how ABC could be really effective in helping us changing also the habits of our teachers. So,
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.